G'day folks, here's a look at 20 killer 7 inches from my collection. G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. I was browsing through my Discogs the other day and I thought to myself, why don't I do a video on some of my 7 inches? So I've picked out 20 7 inches from my collection just to ramble a bit about. Thought I'd do a quicker and dirtier video for the hell of it. So yeah, I will point out that one of my future videos coming up is my most valuable 7 inches according to Discogs, so I've excluded all the ones on that list. But yeah, this is not necessarily my favourite 7 inches of all time, but some cool ones that I just wanted to talk about. So, one thing I'll just whinge about in my usual way is bloody record labels that don't mark whether it's 33 or 45 RPM. Like, big 12-inch records is maybe understandable. They're generally going to be 33, unless they're like 8 minutes long. But yeah, 7 inches, yeah, they really do vary a lot, so it is most frustrating. So any record labels watching this, freaking label it. Anyway, let's get into it. First up, we have a compilation from 1995. This is Loud and Ugly Volume 2. This came out on a legendary old American label called Bine Records that really put some great stuff out. You know, I'll just read through some of the various, cool little flyers that they used to include for all their releases. You know, they had releases from I Hate God, Floor, Spaz, Festering Reunions, don't know those guys, Thug Apartment 2 and 3, Turbo Negro even on here, Grief and Suppression. So yeah, they had plenty of other good ones as well. So generally when I saw a Bovine release, I'd try and snaffle it. But yeah, this compilation is the second in their Loud and Ugly series. Alright, on it we've got I Hate God, Floor, Despise You, Apartment 2 and 3, and Thug. The I Hate God song on this is Dixie Whiskey, which is a different version to the one that's on Dope Sick, and sounds friggin' killer. I always love this song. It's probably my favourite I Hate God song, probably because of this compilation, which I've had for donkey's years. It's just got the most killer groove, and it's a live favourite as well. So yeah, that's bloody awesome. Floor is it's an old sort of sludge band that had Steve from like Torch and Cavity. Their song's called Iomi, so you can probably gather what that one sounds like. It's just slow, sludgy doom. It's pretty cool. There's like 2 songs from Despise You, like Power Violence band from LA, I think. And they're very short, and pretty much they're over too soon. I mean, they're pretty good, but then you get to the last 2 songs, which are the absolutely killer ones. You get Apartment 2 and 3, which is an old Cleveland Power Violence band. Back together now, I'm glad to see. Yeah, their song Decay on this is absolutely killer. It's from their demo, which I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's pretty damn kick-ass. I'll show you the inside as well. Yeah, it's just the most raucous vocals on it. One thing I will recommend, if like most of this stuff, I don't know if you can get it on CD, but this Apartment 2 and 3, 93 to 97 or something, discography, well worth it. I mean, it's got all of their 7 inches and earlier stuff, but that demo has, Decay, the song on this, and also Don't Tell the Children, 2 of their best songs by far. They're just, it has a breakdown in the middle of Decay that is just mandatory headbang for me. I cannot. I think I originally got this on tape from my good mate Andy, who dubbed it. I'm pretty sure he dubbed it off Norro, whose birthday was the other day. Happy birthday, Nozza. So yeah, I've always loved that Apartment 2 and 3. Unfortunately, every other song other than maybe Don't Tell the Children isn't as good as Decay, but the version on this is killer. But then you get to Thug, which is Sean, the main guy from Bine Records, his band. And that is one of the toughest songs I've ever heard. It's a song called Cancer Causes Rats. It's just the thickest, sludgiest sound, so tough, just mega riff. Derailment, excellent Melbourne sort of sludgy band, covered this, which is very fitting because they're friggin' heavy as well, but the version on this just wipes the floor with everything, and it's ridiculous. Unfortunately, I've never seen a discography of Thug or anything like that. I've got a couple of their other like 7 inches or splits and so on, nowhere near as good as that song. So that was peak Thug. So it's a real shame they didn't do more, and I'd happily buy a discography of them. So, but yeah, this is absolutely killer 7 inch. yeah, I don't know, you probably track it down. It's only 30 years old nearly. But I don't think it was super rare because I've got a copy, so, but yeah, very recommended. Alright, next up, can't go past Autopsy, so this is Autopsy with Tortured Moans of Agony. This is like a live gig from 1993 from New Jersey, I think, which was originally released in 98 by Necroharmonic, so this is after they'd split the first time, so I rather rapidly snagged this one. I'm pretty sure this is actually a second press based on the colour of the vinyl, but pretty podgy. It doesn't actually have a sleeve, it's just like 2 bits of paper and some records. But it's the track list, it's got a good mix of their albums actually. It's mostly Mental Funeral, which is fine by me. It's got 2 off Accident Unspeakable, 1 off Severed Survival, Fiend for Blood, and even a song off Shit Fun. So it's got Shit Eater on there, which I was very happy to see because Shit Fun doesn't get enough love, I reckon. It's not my favourite of their albums, but it's pretty freaking killer, and I'd pay a lot of money to see Praise the Children live. That song rules. Anyway, I digress. I'm really glad that this has got Torn from the Womb on it, because it's one of my favourite songs off Mental Funeral as well, so I'm very happy with that. And sounds pretty bloody good, actually, considering how sludgy they would be live. Or they are live, because I've seen them a few times, but I really like as well that he's used differing logos on the actual middle bits, so you get, I don't know, most of the ones. I'm still not sure where. Maybe that's from like real early crappy demo days, I don't know, but although I do find it amusing, the cover's a bit too stretched. I think there's a tape version of this as well, where this picture makes a bit more sense, but yeah, I was happy to get this. It was later released on Dead as Fuck, which is also put out by Necroharmonic. Good work, Roy. Which has got this gig and a couple of extra tracks. It's got like Pus Rot from Asch and Gasping for Air from Severed as well. So this is probably well worth getting more than the 7 to tell the truth, because this has also got the Live from the Grave, which is one of my killer old bootlegs that I ordered from Relapse Records, I believe, way back in the day. Nice big gouge across it that was already there. I didn't do that. But yeah, so highly recommend this Dead as Fuck compilation. But yeah, I am very happy to have these, or this record, because it's just killer. And that's Autopsy. I love Autopsy. Alright, another Bovine release I've had for quite a while, you could say. This is Enemy Soil split with Agoraphobic Nosebleeds. The Enemy Soil stuff, they're a grind band from Virginia. This is their non-drum machine era, so their first couple of releases with drum machine. This has got Brian from Pig Destroyer, who was their sort of main drummer for quite a while. It's also got really urgent killer vocals from JR, also from Pig Destroyer. Yeah, this is actually one of my favourite of their releases. I mean, I love the drum machine stuff, but this has Direct Action on it, which is my favourite of their songs. Another mandatory headbanger for me. It's just got the most ridiculous breakdown. It's bloody awesome. Yeah, I've listened to this a hell of a lot, I've got to say. The Agoraphobic Nosebleed stuff is pretty bloody early for those guys. It's only about their, I don't know, 3rd or 4th sort of split, so very early. I think it's just Scott and Jay on vocals in those days. So yeah, it's insane drum machine action. Like, I'm pretty sure, I remember reading, I think that they use 2 drum machines at once, sort of thing, which kind of makes sense, but so this is only one song's over 30 seconds long, and that's like 41 seconds long, and a slow song. So if there's slow ones like that, not the most exciting interior, but yeah, the agoraphobic stuff is friggin' killer. You can actually get that. The agoraphobic stuff is on this Bestial Machinery split, and as is the Enemy Soil stuff on CD I forgot to grab out, so I'll put a picture of it up there. Smash's Estate, which is a discography of everything except for the Relapse one, which is irritating, but I love these old covers that they had for some of the Bovine ones. It's classic. So yeah, this is just killer split. It's like 10 minutes long, if that sort of thing. It's pretty short, as most of these are, but it's bloody awesome. Up next is one, I can't remember where the hell I got this from, but this is Mastadon with Slick Leg. This is a fancy picture disc that they put out on Reptilian Records. Ooh, fancy. Don't know what the hell's going on there, but at any rate, it's pretty stylish. So, yeah, this is... I'll show you the back as well. This is pretty much 3 songs, I think, off their demo. They did like a 9-track demo early on with a different singer. And then they went around and like re-recorded the vocals with just, oh no, whatever, what's the guy's... Troy singing, I think, the bass player. And like redid the vocals and reissued them as like Life's Blood, the first EP that they, well, early EP they put out on Relapse, and this, which is like just 3 songs off it, so that you get Slick Leg and 2 others that I can't remember because it doesn't actually say. But they're all on Call of the Mastadon, which is like a, you know, compilation sort of discography sort of thing they put out, which is well worth checking out, I reckon. But yeah, this is their faster, more metal sort of stuff. Like, so this is, yeah, before Leviathan, or what's the first album, Remission. So it's a bit more metal, bit faster. Brand's got friggin' goes berserk, like the drummer. He's even got blasts on here and stuff. It's bloody excellent. And there's a slight sort of feel of Brand and Bill's previous band Lethargy in parts, but yeah, the Slick Leg, the song itself's just got another killer bloody riff. Good headbanger, that one. I don't actually know what the demo itself sounds like, so what the old vocals sound like, but Troy sounds pretty bloody good on this. Yeah, don't know how rare this is, but happy to have this one, because, yeah, I don't really go that far with Mastadon into their discography. I go up to about Leviathan, and that's about it. I've seen them live a few times, and they're always fun, but, yeah, the newer stuff, nah. But this real early stuff, friggin' killer. Up next is an old South Australian band called Martyr. This is their Lucifer EP they put out in '98. They're a Black Death sort of band and friggin' insanely intense. This first EP, the self-titled one, is just, yeah, a benchmark of insanity, you could say. So yeah, after that, I mean, this is like 91, I think, and this is, you know, 7 years later, so the lineup had changed dramatically. It was still Vince there on vocals and guitar, and bloody snarly vocals at that. They're very good. But he added in like Damon and Denny from Stargazer on, you know, bass and drums, and Don from Oni and Slaughter Thou on guitar, who's, I don't know, it sounds like he's channeling Reverend Chris Hades a bit on some of his somewhat chaotic solos. Sounds bloody good. So yeah, you get 2 songs that don't quite match the intensity, but they match the chaos of the early stuff. And then the last song, The Heretic's, a bit sort of slower. Nothing too exciting on the inside. I think you get a picture of the band looking tough. So yeah, that lineup they stuck with for the album, and I think that another split that they did after that. So, but yeah, they only did the one album. I don't know if they're still going or not, but yeah, I'm still kicking myself I didn't see these guys when they played with Psychrist in Canberra. Bloody hell, what an idiot. But yeah, happy to have this little EP, because, yeah, continues the insanity. The Drum Machine Grind continues with Wedge split with Pantalones Abajo Marinero. Yeah, as you can tell, I like Drum Machine Grind quite a bit, so I've got a few of these sort of things. Wedge, yeah, I think I've talked about them before. There's Canadian grind, insane stuff, just catchy as buggery, drum machine craziness, really aggro vocals as always. This is actually one of their better ones, I reckon. It's got the, you know, killer fast songs, but it's also got a punky sort of Before They Get You, with like these snotty sort of vocals that I've always kind of enjoyed. You can get their stuff on this quality discography from Maudeville Noise, or whatever they're called now. Assembled Armaments and Exotic Law. So this has got all their 7 inches, and I think it's got their albums, but it's got a hell of a lot of splits on it, so well worth checking out that. But the Pantalones stuff, yeah, this is more insane Drum Machine Grind. Apparently, according to the notes, it has Miguel on guitar and vocals and Negro on drums, but I'm pretty sure it's just Hagamoto from Bodies Lay Broken and Men's Toilet and Patisserie and about 50 other bands. Pretty sure it's just him having a grand old time when he toured Melbourne and played various bands of his, including Extremely Brutal. I actually asked him about these guys, and he demurred a bit. He just sort of smiled and didn't confirm nothing. So, but I've always loved the raspy sort of vocals on this. It sounds a lot different than any of his slightly more carcassy sounding ones. But yeah, it's just very intense sort of stuff. So nothing too exciting there. But yeah, I love both of these bands. Yeah, this came out on Discos Alpachinos, which is a record label run by, has Hagamoto as the part of the website address. So yeah, pretty sure that's his band and label. But yeah, it's freaking awesome stuff. And I always love Pantaloni's always had these stylish covers. They're not like, horrible gore or anything like that. I mean, the Wedge cover's pretty freaking cool as well, but yeah. So not a bovine release for once, but a bloody good one. Up next is definitely not some drum machine grind. This is Beast Milk with Use Your Deluge. This came out on Svart Records. This is, I don't know, Finnish apocalyptic death rock or something. It kind of sounds like, I don't know, post-punk version of Misfits or a whole lot of different bands. This is their EP from 2012. This is like a year before they released Climax, which is, quite a bit better, to tell the truth. This is a bloody killer EP. Before I owned any of their stuff physically, I had it all on MP3, so it's kind of weird to me to listen to just this, because before then I just listened to everything in a row because it was so bloody good. And not just these 4 songs. But, I mean, this is not as good as the album. It's kind of better than the White Stains on Black Tape sort of EP or demo or whatever before this, which is just, a bit too raw. I mean, this has got killer songs. Children of the Atom Bomb, Forever Animal, Red Majesty. They're bloody excellent. The vocals are just so catchy and definite highlight, especially on Red Majesty. I mean, it's not quite as good as this, obviously. It doesn't have, the You're Now Under Our Control or Genocidal Crush or, there's some... This is the shit. This is bloody awesome, this album. Sadly, after the album came out, the guitarist Goat Speed, love that name, left, and they renamed themselves to Grave Pleasures and were never as good, to tell the truth. So, I'm very happy to have this little one. It's stylish cover as well. That's the back. There's no inner sleeve or anything. It's just black vinyl, so nothing too exciting, but killer music, that's for sure. Up next is a split between Nasm and Warhead. This came out on Relapse Records. This is bloody good, friggin' intense. I had to include this one just because I still remember it blowing me away for the first time. The Nasm tracks on here are from kind of in between Inhale, Exhale and Human 2.0, so good bloody era if you ask me. The usual great combination of high and low vocals. I always liked that he had the lower vocals in those days. Mostly just fast songs, although Style on Pride slows quite a bit. I think it's silent, starts with a nice sort of chunky riff before the blast kick in, so, high energy as usual. But the Warhate stuff, holy dooly, that's what really grabbed me, to tell the truth. They're a band from like Portland, Oregon. I've had very little stuff. I think this is pretty much it. Maybe they had a demo, I don't know, but they're listed as, it was like Black Death, but to me it's sort of like Black Grind. It's just, I don't know, kind of war metal almost. Friggin' rabid. There's not much more that I can think of that's more rabid than this. It's just fast as hell and the vocals are just vicious. It's so freaking good. They got 4 songs. I think it's Tooth and Claw. Sounds quite a bit like it's got a bit of a bestial warlust, corpse molestation kind of feel to it. For some reason there's a Thor's hammer on there. Not sure why, but anyway, just noticed. White vinyl, very nice. But yeah, the whole thing is just 8.5 minutes of intensity, you could say. That's pretty much the only way of putting it. This is not my favourite Nasm sound on this. I think the split with Abstain, which I also have, but it's got a better guitar sound. Just that, I think it's Silent Sanguinary Soil. It's just beautiful stuff. The start of that, it's so heavy. Warhate stuff, they did a split with like Dominus Inferno or someone or other, some black metal band, I think. But I'm pretty sure they're just the same song, so that might be it. I know they had Kev from, every Portland band in them for a while, but I don't think he's listed as being on this. The Nasm stuff, of course, you can get on Grind Finale, which is, several discs of lots of grind. Warhead stuff, I don't know, yeah, as I said, it's on some split, which I think is a record. I don't know if it's even on CD, so anyway. I'm happy that I've got this one, that's for sure. Up next is Chthe'ilist with Passage to Zextanoth, or however, I don't know how the hell you pronounce that. This is an EP that they put out in like 2018, so a couple of years after their album, which I adore their album, it was bloody good. And this is just as good, really. So yeah, Canadian weird death metal, lots of odd stuff going on. This continues the quality, although the sound isn't quite as good as the album, but well, it's to be expected. First song, the title track, has that quality slap bass kind of sound, like Autopsy sort of style. It just sounds so good whenever I hear it. Really classy solos as well, like Phil knows what he's doing. I think the other guitarist gets a solo on here as well, but it's pretty cool actually. It comes with this whole story written. It's very, very Lovecrafty sort of style of what is it? Searching for a brother in a rather dangerous wood, you could say. So yeah, it's good. I very rarely read lyrics because they're usually crap, but these ones were pretty good actually. I like it. The second song, Beneath the Crypts, is a crematory cover, like the old Swedish death metal band, who obviously a bit of influence on them. They certainly made it them their own, because you can barely recognise the riffs. I mean, I know the song reasonably well, but yeah, it still sounds like Chthe'ilist. But yeah, and I mean, Crematory is another band that certainly influenced Funabarum as well, and guess what? Phil's in Funabarum as well, so who would have guessed? I really like the song because it's got like that crazed, weird sort of insect vocals that he does. Just awesome stuff. One thing I whinge about though is these came in. I also have a second copy, of course, because for some reason I bought a different coloured version. I don't usually do that. I try not to buy multiples of things, but for some reason on this one I did. And these sleeves, I had to rip this one out of the sleeve. I had to like open. I just could not get the whole thing out of the sleeve. And then when you get down to it, this barely, like, this is a record. This is red vinyl. Barely even fits in this sleeve either. So yeah, I think Profound Law were having a didn't pick quite the right items there, because can't get it out of the sleeve. I had to get my own new sleeve to put it in, and the inner bit doesn't fit anyway, so anyway, I digress. This is a freaking killer EP, and I want more Chthe'ilist. Get on with it, boys. Far out. It's like, what, 2016 was the album, so that's 8 years ago. 6 years since this came out, and there's nothing since, so get on it. Up next is some Melbourne Grind. This is Pregnancy with... This is Pregnancy with their demo from, I think it's like 2013 or something or other. So, yeah, this is Melbourne Grind. Just had various members of, like most Melbourne Grind bands, as members from other bands, including Carcinoid, Contaminated, and Hacksaw. So, yeah, this is just nasty gore grind, pitch-shifted vocals, really cool groove, and nice gory sound. I think it's the first song, Hypodermic Rabies Vessel. It's just so catchy, bloody awesome, and it's got those tasty Christoph blasts, can't go wrong there. They have some friggin' tough riffs on this. I think it's a chunky a Backing Up in the Bowels song. So yeah, this originally came out on, where is it? I've got this, just bodgy CD. I don't know if it's a CDR. Yeah, it looks kind of cheapo. But yeah, for some reason I stupidly also bought it on record, because why not? This came out on, was reissued on Nerve Altar and Grindfather. Just boring black vinyl. A giant chunk hanging out, I just noticed. Anyway. Yeah, that's lovely inside and charming stuff. Yeah, I did happen to... I only saw these guys the once, which was a shame. I had this feeling they played at one of those grindcore gigs that I went to, maybe, but anyway, I definitely saw them at the Toad. I remember it well. They had like Jack from Die Pitch and Die on vocals, and yeah, it's bloody good. Sadly, I don't think they recorded anything else at all that I've ever seen. Real shame they didn't do an album, because this is like 10.5 minutes, which is 10.5 bloody excellent minutes, but not quite enough. I think there was talk of them doing an album, but I think the main guy's not overly keen anymore, which is a real shame, because this is friggin' killer. Up next is a very old EP from Atrocity. This is the German band Atrocity. This is their Blue Blood EP. I think one of their very early ones. I think they did a demo before this, maybe. I've had these tracks on their first album, Hallucinations, forever. It's only on the CD, but so I'm very used to these. I only bought this, I don't know, 20 years ago or something. Nowhere near as long as I've had Hallucinations. But so yeah, this is their slightly grindier stuff than Hallucinations. So yeah, they're if you're thinking Atrocity, is that awful bloody goth band? Yeah. Pretty much. Their early days, they were sort of weird tech death sort of stuff. This is even grindier. It's got a bit of a napalm sort of feel to it in parts. They're still a very young band on this, so it is pretty damn amateurish, I've got to say. It has 3 songs: Blue Blood, When the Fire Burns Over the Sea, and Humans Lost Humanity. And I really love the song When the Fire Burns Over the Seas. It's a weird sort of one. He's got like these groaned kind of moany vocals. Kind of reminds me of like Mesmerized by Frost. But it's got this sort of weird cascading guitar work that I've just like solo in the background that I've always loved. Sounds killer. Start to Humans Lost Humanity has got some nice crazed screams and growls, but pretty friggin' messy song, I gotta say. The drummer is a bit too eager in parts, but it's got a nice sort of closing groovy kind of riff and some quality death laughter. I love a good death laugh though, in a growled voice. Tell you what though, this is the thinnest record, not that that's going to show very well on camera, that's the thinnest record I own other than crappy friggin' flexi discs. Don't know how they got it so thin, but it still plays. And for some weird reason, side A is 45 RPM, side B is 33. I mean, at least they bloody label it, but what the hell? Weird. This is... But yeah, Elephant in the Room is that awful cover art. I've no idea what's going on. I mean, the first song is called Blue Blood, so I'm assuming it's about them. It doesn't actually have lyrics. But that's not a great cover. It's my only metal release with Royals on the cover, although it's not my only release with Royals on the cover. I also own this. This is the recording of basically their wedding, like Prince Charles as he was then and Lady Di. I got this from Duratone Hi-Fi, where I bought my turntable from, and they threw in like a Keel record, which is, you know, hard rock. It's pretty good actually, and for some reason this as well, just for a laugh, because I was like, oh, the missus would love that. She's a bit of a Royals fan, so I can't say I've ever listened to it, but yeah, I own a recording of the wedding. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, it's got an order of service and everything, so one day maybe I'll listen to this. But yes, back to Atrocity. This, yeah, it's messy and it's pretty friggin' early on. You know, they don't really quite know what they're doing. I mean, Hallucinations is friggin' 20 times better, to tell the truth. And the album after that, Longing for Death or Todeshnacht or whatever, is pretty bloody good as well. After that, yeah, maybe not. But this one, still cool. Back to Australia and South Australia again. This is Cauldron Black Ram with the Devil-Bellied 7-inch. These guys are a sort of, I don't know, kind of mid-paced death metal-y kind of band. Bloody killer stuff. He's got a great groove to him. This is their... I think this came out before the album, possibly. It's got 3 songs. It's got Devil Bellied, which is on the first album, Skullduggery, which is bloody killer album. And that song's probably the highlight as well. It's just a classic. So good. It's got the quality chorus of Skullduggery and the Nunnery. It's always awesome live. I don't know how well this is going to show up on film, because it's very friggin' dark cover. Yeah, it's also got the song Artillery from the first demo, which is like a instrumental, and it's a bit of a shame. I mean, it's a good song, nice mid-paced galloper sort of style. It's just kind of a shame it doesn't have vocals, if anything. And then the last song is He of the Evil Winds. Just got some evil winds, but it's a bit sort of faster in parts, and then it has a slow sort of spoken wordy kind of bit that, yeah, it's kind of nice and eerie. So it's got a inner sleeve has just got some, you know, the old lyrics, and then other releases from Apocalypta, which is the record label that it came out on, which is run by Jaro from, you know, Nocturnal Graves and Destroyer and various other bands. I don't remember all these releases coming out. Maybe they did eventually. I got a few of theirs, but yeah, happy to have this little thing. I mean, as I said, Skullduggery is probably a better release, but yeah, this is still pretty cool. Up next is an old Canadian grind band. This is Dharma with their 9-track 7-inch from 1996. So I think this is the second press. This is a Canadian grind band. They sing about serial killers. So yeah, you get the songs, Herbert Mullen, Thomas Hamilton, Randy Kraft, Henry Lee Lucas, all the good ones. So it's just catchy grind, nothing too exciting, but got some gurgly sort of vocals on it as well as, normal shouted sort of style. I love the back. I don't know if you can see the picture of them. I'd blow it up a bit. The band photo is, probably not them, I don't think. They were only around for 5 or so years. They've only got one album, about a heap of splits that they did. Good band. I really need to grab... I've got the worst recordings, but I've still got to pick up the studio sessions, all the stuff the proper recordings that they did, because, they were bloody good. Happy to have this one. I think I probably got this from Spiral Objective. It was a classic old Aussie distro and label that were, super, very left-wing, you could say. Used to get all literature and stuff with your orders. Probably got this from them, so, I got a few things from them over the years. Happy to have this one. Up next is another split from Discos Al Pacino. This is Impaled split with Engorged. This one came out late 90s, I'm guessing. The Impaled tracks on here, they've got 2 songs on here. What have they got? They've got Night Soil and Until Death. Both of them are actually on this Choice Cuts kind of compilation that Impaled put out, which is on death format, so it might be hard to get. But anyway, I'd recommend this if you can track it down. The 2 songs are Night Soil is a kind of a fast sort of banger, pretty good, but Until Death, the second song, that's a corker. It's a classic and definitely one of their best. I think they play it live pretty regularly, or they certainly used to. It's just catchy as hell death metal. Definitely one of their better songs. It's a bloody good one. The credits actually also say that it's got vocals from Hank from from Dawn and Retaliation. So you get the band hanging around Leon's grave, and I'm fairly certain that's Leon, the singer's head on the front. The other side is Engorged, Portland, death metal band. Bloody killer. Their tracks are actually on this split with Fuck 'Em Dead, I think, or their track, which is Surgery, Drugs and Rock and Roll. Love it. So it's more sort of catchy carcass sort of style death metal that they did. Not the greatest song of all time, but still pretty bloody good. I don't know what's going on their rather busy cover. Their whole side of this is just one long thanks list. So at least they're appreciative. But good little EP, and definitely worth it for Until Death of Impaled. It's a great song. Up next we have a band that's not 30 years old for once. Holy crap, it's a modern band. This is Mellow Harsher with their Served Cold EP. This came out on, what does that say? I can't even read what that says. Anyway, a label. This is, Hyperactive Grind from Wisconsin in America. I think I'm pretty sure they're still going. I assume that's Charlie Brown from Peanuts having a bad day, you could say, on the cover. There's not really much other than the back cover. There's no inner sleeve, doesn't say where it's recorded, nothing. Well, who cares? This is just really intense, very fast in parts. That gets sort of slower and heavier in parts as well, but really fast, really aggro, and the vocals are freaking killer as well. It's nice and short. It's 7 minutes long or something or other. It's just the right length for a 7-inch, I reckon. They also did a killer other EP that I've got somewhere, and also a split with Internal Rot, who I think they played a couple of shows on Internal Rot's US tour of 2014. So they appear to be mates. I was happy to pick this one up. Probably got this from Radical Blast, I would imagine, because it's just intense, that's for sure. I do like that the sleeve doesn't actually fit the the inner sleeve, but what the hell. Bloody excellent EP. If you get the chance to see these guys live, do it, because it sounds like they're good fun live. I would very much enjoy that, I think. Up next is a Florida death doom band. This is Druid Lord with Barren Blood. This came out on Dementia Records, a Czech or Czechia or whatever they're called now, label that I'm pretty sure I ordered direct from them. So yeah, death doom from Florida, you know, growly vocals, friggin' killer stuff. This is dedicated to Mario Bava, a rather good horror director. He made the movie Barren Blood, which I'm pretty sure I've got to watch. I haven't yet, so I'll check it out, I think. Yeah, the first song, the title track, was also on their Hymns for the Wicked first album, but for some reason they redid it for this. But and yeah, it sounds killer. It's nice and slow. It's got some kind of keyboards at the end that works pretty well. But I think the second song, what is it, Monarch Macabre, is probably my preferred one on this. It's got this killer sort of, I don't know, mournful kind of lead over the top of it, and a very forceful sort of ending. I like it. I only have 7 inches of these guys. I got like 3 7-inches and no records, or no albums. I think they've got 3 albums as well. I think they're on Hell's Headbangers now for records. So maybe I need to track down an actual album at some stage, because yeah, I quite enjoy this band. Don't hear a giant amount about them, so yeah. I always love that logo. I don't know, it's stylish, you could say. So it does come with an inner sleeve of tough-looking knight or something or other. Knights Templar, no doubt. And the band looking tough. So, yeah, good little purchase, this one. Sticking to Florida, now we have Asch with State to State. This is a very old Florida grind band. This is from like 93 or something or other. What is it? Yeah, 93. These songs mostly are on their Anti-Capital album, except for the last song, A Nation's Tear, which is like a spoken word kind of anti-war song. It's just like feedback in the background pretty much. So yeah, I kind of find this weird. Like, this came out on SOA Records, who put out the album Anti-Capital as well. So I don't know why they reissued 4 songs of theirs plus a new spoken word song 2 years after the album came out. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, this is amusingly produced by Scott Burns at Morrisound. Doesn't really sound it, but it's just heavy, dense sort of sound. I love this sort of early 90s grind. There was a few bands that sounded, I don't know, somewhat similar. It was, I think, you know, one of the Agothicles albums sounds kind of similar. This is heavy death metal-y grind sort of sound, but yeah, I like it. So yeah, growled vocals. This is the classic sort of lineup that they had as well. I do have this on this rather excellent discography that was put out by excellent label Blast as Fuck. Good work, Robbie. Put out briefly and then banned because I think one of the I think Steve, maybe the guitarist, chucked a wobbly and said, no, I didn't authorise it, because maybe Robbie got I don't know, maybe the drummer authorised it or something or other, who knows. So poor Robbie wasn't able to sell it, but thankfully I'd pre-ordered it and I got it in the mail before it got banned, as it were. So I have a copy of that, which has got pretty much all their stuff on it. So yeah, I don't think you can really get this at all, but glad I got it. So yeah, the album itself is just as bloody good. I mean, the 4 proper songs on here are just, you know, fast, heavy grind. Nothing super exciting, but very well done. I can see why these guys are pretty legendary, because yeah, I don't know if I've actually got. Well, I suppose I do actually if I own this. Does this have Misery Index? It does. Hey, maybe I should listen to this more often. Yeah, excellent band. Yeah, Florida grind. Next up is an old Australian hardcore band that, yeah, I hadn't listened to this in probably decades, to tell the truth, so I thought I'd drag it out, and it's way better than I remember. This is Arms Reach, Within Our Reach. This is old Newcastle, kind of like hardcore, fastcore almost sort of style. The Newcastle hardcore scene was pretty impressive back in the day. Not that I ever actually went there and saw any gigs or anything. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I got a few of their releases. Yeah, as well as these guys, there was like Conation and Nihilist and Found My Direction, and of course Peter Penis and the Transformers. Love that. But yeah, these guys, from the look of it, got around. They did do an album, but I only own this in like another split 7-inch, I think. Yeah, it's really good mix of male and female sort of angry scream vocals. Nice fast songs. This is not particularly long. I think it's What Lies Ahead's my favourite song in it. It's got a killer breakdown and it's just general aggression. All the songs pretty damn fast. I mean, they got some, your classic sort of hardcore tropes that work very well at high speed, you could say. It does come with this big fold-out thing with, no doubt, angry lyrics and the band looking pretty cool on stage. So I don't think I ever saw these guys. They might have played in Canberra and I went, but I don't remember it at all. But yeah, always love that cover art. So could not resist. So I've had this for donkey's years. I think picked up this up cheap. It was on Short Fuse, which, yeah, I don't know how long Short Fuse went for, but anyway, I might try and track the album down because it's good stuff. Up next is a classic Aussie grind 7-inch. This is Captain Klean Off split with Open Wound. I can't remember where the hell I got this from. Maybe the label. This came out on In League with Satan, which is a old Queensland record label. Yeah, this is the stuff. I've had this for donkey's years. I think this is probably the first I'd heard of either Captain Klean Off or Open Wound. So yeah, Captain Klean Off are a very catchy grind band from, well, I think they're from South Australia originally, maybe like out Gambia or something. And then, yeah, moved to Melbourne at any rate. So yeah, saw them plenty of times live. They've, killer albums and stuff, but this is a pretty damn early days. The sound on this is a bit average. The drums kind of sound like, tin cans or something. Maybe the Lars style before he got there, but I do like it. It's the old style where he does growls as well as screams, and which I always kind of preferred. I'd say this is the first I've heard, and it's got some of their great songs on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the song Henry, which is one of my favourites of their real old stuff. That's on the Drunkard split. But yeah, Meathead, yeah, Lard, HE, and another one I won't mention. Great stuff. The Open Wound stuff on this is they're a reasonably short-lived Melbourne grind band had like Jay from Fucking Dead on vocals, Robbie from The Kill on guitar, Paulie from Sanctioned, and maybe I think he might have played with Rupture as well, maybe, on bass, and Fab from Vaginal Carnage on drums. Bloody all-star band before they were stars. But yeah, just friggin', again, more catchy grind. It's interesting. They've kind of got like some sort of non-grind elements to them. They've always had this sort of slightly different style. It's not all just like blasts non-stop, like The Kill. I love that inner bit. That's awesome. And very stylish sort of, labels as well. So, yeah, this is mandatory for Aussie grind fans. But if you can't track that down, you can also try and track down this Open Wound Anti-Gamma split that they put out, the Blast as Fuck split. So it's got all Open Wound songs on it. Or you could try and track down the Captain Klean Off one, which probably won't show for shit because it's a very dark cover, which came out on No Escape, which is all their sort of EPs and stuff. So yeah, both these songs, or both these releases, are on this. Yeah, this is mandatory. I'm very glad I got this one early on because, yeah, it rules. And although this 7-inch thing didn't have anything by Unholy Grave or Agothocles, this did have Nunslaughter with their Metal Assault on Canberra. I couldn't resist putting this one in, mainly because I was at this gig. Nunslaughter toured Australia back in, when was that, 2003. Yeah, this was a great fun gig. This was at the Rock Ape, which is an old venue in Canberra that's now nothing anymore. Certainly at a venue. On your reggae, you did good, mate. Yeah, where I saw a lot of bloody good gigs, including this one, which was just hilarious fun. It was pretty small, cozy venue, you could say, pretty messy place. It's the venue that I had a few too many super bourbons and passed out the front in the garden bed, and then woke up as everyone was leaving, going, "Yeah, look at Jeff!" Fun time. It wasn't this gig though, because I remember this one. Yeah, thankfully Nunslaughter, in their usual way of trying to put out too many releases, pretty much recorded every gig, because there's like a Metal Assault on Melbourne, and I assume there's a Sydney one, there's various other, probably Adelaide. Yeah, so, and that's surprisingly good sound actually for a live gig. Maybe it was because the sound guy was Kurt, no doubt. So, but it's just, I mean, they're great songs, but half the fun is the banter you can hear in between. On it, they get this nice picture for some reason, and on this bit, it's going on about we raised the great horns of hell to everyone who was able to join us at this show. What made this one memorable was the quote, "Fuck you, you are fucking evil chick." We can't thank her enough for the entertainment. Mega whirlwind thanks also goes out to the club owner and sound guy. And yeah, I think I remember there was a couple of ladies that used to go to gigs that used to get a bit messy. I think it was either Emily or Safi that probably made that call, and you can actually hear it on us as well. Someone calls them a pussy, and I think it's Jim the drummer, because the drummer and the singer usually had mics in those days. And I think it's Jim just fires back from being called a pussy. He's like, "I am what I eat." Classy stuff. All I remember from the gig is just eternal bloody I think it's Jim the drummer holding up, the sticks in the inverted cross, and just hilarious between song banter. I saw him at AMDF many years later. It was nowhere near as fun, but this was just hilarious gig. It's a bit of a shame though in this that the flyer is like the Melbourne gig for some reason. It's like, come on, could at least put the Canberra one on there. I've probably still got a couple of them lying around because Reggae gave me some to hand out to people or leave in shops, and when I got there someone else had left all heaps of other Nunslaughter flyers in shops. But yeah, it was really fun gig. I think it was the first time I saw Stargazer as well, because they supported on the whole tour, and yeah, it was great fun. So yeah, rest in peace to Konya. Sorry, fella. Did bloody good on this gig, and yeah, it was a very fun gig. So I was super happy to have this on record just as a keepsake. So I hope you enjoyed that look back at some of my records. I may well do this on CDs or records, or 12 inches as well, just for the fun of it. This is also because I'm not too lazy to do my next collection update, but I've actually got to listen to it because there's bloody heaps of it. So yeah, that'll probably be my next video. I've got quite a bit of listening to do, so I can do some rambling about it. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.